Good morning, everybody. This is Dave. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a good weekend, and I'm having a pretty good weekend. I'm still struggling with my knees, and my surgery got postponed, so that's not good. But otherwise, we're still trying to get out and do things in the garden. And this morning, I was thinking I'd just take a quick walk around the garden and show you what we got going on. I got a lot going on, but honestly, a lot of it's moving really slowly, far more slowly than it normally would in past years, or at least it feels like it. And I'm looking at my worksheets and things, and it definitely not harvesting a lot. So we'll talk about that as we go on, but let's get into it. Let's take a quick walk around the garden. Shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. Okay, so here we are. And first thing we have, well, I got tucked in here. These are my fig sprouts that are now potted up and growing very nicely, actually. You can see they're 4-inch pots, and well, they probably need a little watering, but we're gonna plant those very soon. They'll still have 2 months or so at least to get acclimated. Here's our corn. It's dent corn. It's a mix. I've talked about it before, of 3 corns that I started with. We do have commercial farming close enough to be getting cross-pollination, but I suspect most of this is pretty well from what we have. I had a fair amount of corn left over from last year, so I didn't plant nearly as much. I planted this block and one small other block that succumbed to the hot, dry weather we had. So this is what I got. You know, probably be 10 pounds of corn or so. Matched with what I already have, it should honestly be plenty for us for the year. So I've talked about these quite a bit. These are my tomatillos. This bed not producing quite as well as, look at this bed. Yeah, it's gone crazy. So there's some There's a minuscule one. Let's see if I can find a bigger one that you can see a little easier. There's one right there. They grow inside this papery husk, and when the fruit inside is ready, the husk breaks open, and it's ready to, what's the word, be born, be harvested. There's a couple on the plant. Hopefully you can see those. Don't seem to have a lot of predators, a lot of pests. They did all get bitten. Almost everything in my garden got bitten off by rabbits first thing this spring. So I believe that's a big part of what set me back. Plus just trying to stay out here and keep on top of everything. So that's how that's how that goes. So I'm gonna take you through here. Try to get my shadow off of it a little bit. These are my Siberian tomatoes that I strung up, about a week or so ago. You can see we got quite a few green there. We got some green tomatoes. They're nice size. Where they at? There they are. Got some bunches there. Plenty of flowers, but I'm not sure I'm really seeing the pollination like I have in the past. So my sweet potatoes got completely overrun with weeds. You know your weeds are bad when they outgrow your sweet potatoes. So we went through and we pulled all this, and this is the sweet potato vine we have left. It's starting to fill in now, but it could use some help probably as well. Here is an unknown tomato plant that came up right where the old compost pile was. So I figured since it, I'll pull a sucker off. I figured since it was nice enough to come up and volunteer, I'd certainly be nice enough to stalk it up, and we'll see what it has. These suckers that grow in between, I just found this out a few years ago. Now that's a small one, you probably can't do it with that. But if you have suckers that are growing between, you know, the joint of the branch, and you pluck those out, those can actually be rooted fairly easily. So for those of you that have long growing seasons, you can be rooting those suckers and replanting as you go, right through the whole year. This bed's a little bit of a mess. These are shishito peppers, which I just found seeds for this year, and then actually, in a weird coincidence, suddenly they seem to be everywhere around me, and they're actually quite mild but very tasty. Here we have our not Roma, San Marzano tomatoes. These are the San Marzanos, and I've got some more of those shishito peppers. There's one that's got a pepper on it. You can see the pepper itself. They're quite tasty, definitely. They're I've enjoyed so far what I've gotten off of those. And so back here we've got these are Brandywine. These are more like slicing tomatoes as opposed to canning tomatoes. And then over there is basically some random seeds. All those tomatoes, those are random seeds that I put together, saved, and then replanted. So again, lots of flowers, lots of blooming, not a lot of fertilization, which, I mean, I have 6 hives of bees here, and while tomato pollination is done much better by the larger carpenter or bumblebee types, I feel like I should be getting a little more fruit set than this. We've put all the chemicals down, we've got everything in place, so I'm not sure what's going on. Off over there by the fence is what remains of my potatoes. They're probably, hopefully, going to get dug this week. So in here, got just a little bit of lavender. You can see there's some lavender, and mixed in with that lavender, here's some rosemary. Just a small little bed that kind of gets neglected a little bit. Jerusalem's artichoke. Anybody who's had that knows. You can see I just string trim all the way around it. No, you can't show any mercy. And so again, the tops of these bit off by rabbits and things early in the season, and now they're regrowing, and hopefully trying to see where they bit one off. Oh, there we go. So okay, so if you look at the damage, so here where it's brown, that's the old damaged stem. It got bit off right there. If you go back to the last, the plant's not stupid though. So we go back to the last node, which is down here. Let's see, right there. And that node shoots forth 3 or 4 more, shoots. And each of those shoots will end up with a flower on it. So we'll actually end up with more flower than if they hadn't been bit off, because each stem will have 2 or 3 flowers budding on it. So that's cool. My zinnias. Here's my zinnias I did this year, and they've actually done very well. These are an open pollinated flower, so I'm hoping this bed's going to come back every year. That's the idea. And I got some more. These tomatoes are cherry, and they are going very, very slowly. They should be growing much faster than this, as well as those over there, which are cherry or Siberian, one or the other also. So I got a lot going on, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to come to fruition. These are some open pollinated marigolds that I planted last year. They came back this year. Seeds volunteered. So they should be sprouting soon. And what else have I got left for you? Let me see. We're walking. Oh, here's my, boy, it's beat up. This is my volunteer Siberian from last fall, last September. This plant has been alive since last August or September, a year. Kept it alive all winter long, saved some seeds from it, and put it outside here. Ooh, that's mushy. Something got a hold of that, must have split it open. Okay. And it's putting off more tomatoes. So I've still got This is, like I said, this plant's a year old, so it's at the end though. Definitely, we get these last few to ripen, that would be awesome. So back to these. This is a patch of broccoli that's been growing all, it's in a little raised bed here. It's been growing all spring and yet no flowering. So I've put down Epsom salts. Well, I don't want that to flower, but even then it should have bolted by now. No more I put down Epsom salts. I put down all sorts of stuff. Here we have a wildly overgrown watermelon patch, but as you can see, we've got one right there. This is Minnesota Midget. It's a variety of smaller watermelon. It's just my wife and I. She doesn't eat it all the time, just once in a while. So rather than have giant watermelons everywhere and not figuring out what in the world to do with them, I looked in here the other day. That was the only thing I saw. Definitely needs to be weeded. But that's pretty cool. But everything's going slow. I can't say I've had any huge successes on anything. I'm getting you over here to the shade again. We're going to take we just kind of did a loop. There's the corn, and let's see here. There we go. So that's about it. I don't know how much promise the garden has, and I'm really kind of counting on it this year with everything going on in the world and all around. But it's been slow sledding. We had temperatures over in the 90s and no rain for quite a few weeks in July. Suddenly now it's dropped down and temperatures are in the 70s. Of course, days are getting shorter. We all know that. We can feel it. And I'm just not sure what's going to come out all this. So hopefully we'll be able to get something. Hopefully we'll have a little something to can, to put away. I think I'm definitely going to have some tomatillos in another 2 weeks. So that'll be salsa or salsa verde or something like that. So hope your garden's doing well. Hope you're doing well. And I suppose I will see you on the next video. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you then. Have a good one.